Imagine for a moment, you're stepping into an ancient Egyptian tomb. You can almost feel that hushed reverence, can't you? The air is thick with history, maybe the scent of old rituals.
Just in time, yeah.
Exactly. And then, in that dim light, this figure appears. Anubis. Instantly recognizable, that black jackal-head, those eyes that seem to hold, well, eternity.
It's a powerful image.
It really is. And I think for most people, the immediate feeling is, sure, awe, but maybe also a bit of apprehension, fear even. He is, after all, the face we associate with the realm of the dead.
That's the common perception, absolutely, the master of the underworld.
Right. But what if that powerful, sort of stern presence, the one that's so tied up with death's inevitable embrace, what if there's something else there, something, I don't know, unexpected? So our mission today, as we dive deep into the sources, ancient texts, funerary art, that kind of thing, is to really unpack that initial, pretty formidable image.
Go beyond the surface.
Exactly. We want to uncover the honestly surprising depth and the multifaceted nature of Anubis. Because the sources, they show him as not just, the end-of-the-line guy, but as a guardian, a guide, a protector of souls, really. We're going to explore how he manages this incredible balance between, well, fear and comfort.
And that duality, I think that's exactly what makes him so compelling, still relevant, When we think about death, our minds often jump straight to grief, sorrow.
The poles of grief, yeah.
Right, the emotions left behind. So the idea that a deity so linked to that transition could also be a source of genuine comfort, of reassurance. It forces you to rethink things, doesn't it?
It really does.
It kind of reframes how we look at these ancient gods and sets us up for, well, a much richer understanding of Anubis.
Okay, so let's lean into that first impression for a second. That guardian's gaze. When you look at the depiction, say, in the Book of the Dead or tomb reliefs, his presence is just undeniable, potent.
Very potent. The jackal-head itself is significant.
Oh.
Well, think about jackals. They're creatures of the desert edge, often seen near cemeteries. Scavengers, yes, but also existing in those liminal spaces between the settlement and the wild, between life and death, almost.
Okay. That makes sense.
And his posture, his sternness in many depictions, it all speaks to that clear link with death, the underworld. You feel this weight, this authority.
You really do. A sense of accountability, maybe?
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine looking at him and not feeling that profound presence.
Definitely.
But then, okay, here's where it gets really interesting. The ancient sources, they seem to say, okay, but look closer. Instead of just this grim, unyielding figure, you start noticing details. Gestures, even, like in some Papyrian tomb paintings. Anubis is shown overseeing the embalming.
Right, a crucial role.
And his hands, they aren't shown in an aggressive way. Often, they're gently supporting the deceased, or they look poised, like they're involved in careful, almost, dare I say, tender preparation for the afterlife.
That's a great observation. It's active involvement.
It feels active, meticulous. It hints at something much more nuanced than just, judgment or bringing death. So the question is, how does this image, this gentle hand involved in this delicate ritual, fit with that fearsome reputation? Is it a contradiction? Or maybe a different kind of power?
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? The sources suggest it's not a contradiction at all. It's more like a holistic view of death within that Egyptian worldview.
Okay.
What's fascinating here is that Anubis is, as the texts say, not just a bringer of death. Consistently, he's shown as a protector, a guardian. And the key idea is that he provides a bridge.
A birdie.
Yeah. His power isn't just about ending life. It's deeply about safeguarding what comes next. Think about embalming again.
Right.
It wasn't just, preserving a body. It was this incredibly sacred, complex ritual. Priests even wore Anubis masks while doing it. The whole point was transforming the physical form into an eternal vessel, right? To ensure the person could make it to the field of reeds.
So the act itself is protective. Benevolent almost.
Exactly. It's about preservation, ensuring continuity. It's fundamentally an act of care.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then if you dive into texts like the coffin texts or spells from the Book of the Dead, you see Anubis actively standing between the deceased and the dangers of the underworld.
Dangers? Like what?
Oh, the Duat, the Egyptian underworld, was seen as a perilous place. Texts describe these malevolent demons, predatory creatures, traps, all sorts of obstacles the soul had to navigate. Anubis acts as a shield against the shadows.
So his scariness becomes a good thing for the deceased.
Precisely. His strength, his fearsome aspect, is actually a source of security, not dread, for the soul on its journey. He uses his power not to harm the deceased, but to clear their path, to fend off anything that might prevent them from reaching the afterlife safely. He's basically the ultimate bodyguard for the soul when it's most vulnerable.
Wow. A bodyguard for the soul.
Hmm.
A shield against the actual dangers of the duat. That really does shift the perspective, doesn't it? From a figure who causes fear to one who protects you from it.
A huge shift.
And it sounds like this protection isn't just passive. It seems to lead right into his guiding role. If he's protecting you, he must also know the way.
Exactly.
So how does he actually guide souls? The sources often say he offers guidance to those navigating the mysteries of the afterlife, leading them with a steadfast heart. What does that guidance look like in practice?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture of their beliefs, the really profound implication is this. He knows that death is not the end, but a transition.
Okay, that's key.
Absolutely key to understanding his compassion and why he's such an effective guide. He's not just shoving you off into the void, he's actually facilitating your journey through this complex, often dangerous landscape.
The duat again?
The duat, yes. And when we say afterlife here, we're not talking about some vague heaven or hell. For the Egyptians, it was this highly structured, ritualized progression, right? Leading ultimately to the judgment before Osiris in the Hall of Two Truths.
And Anubis knows this path inside out.
Completely. As the god of embalming and the guardian of tombs, he has this intimate knowledge of the entire process. Every twist, every turn, every potential danger in the duat. His steadfast heart comes from this deep knowledge and his unwavering commitment to getting the deceased safely to their destination.
Okay.
And this puts him in this unique position for what the source material calls the balancing act. He must balance fear and comfort, strength and compassion.
How so?
Well, he needs to be formidable enough, scary enough, to ward off those underworld threats and uphold the sacred order of death. But he also needs to be gentle and understanding enough to reassure the soul facing, the ultimate unknown.
That makes sense. It's a delicate balance.
It is, and that balance is exactly what makes him so perfectly suited to guide those who fear the unknown. He gets it. He can convey that ultimately all will be okay because he's there literally every step of the way ensuring it. He's more than just a ferryman. He's like a counselor, a map maker, and a guardian, all rolled into one for the soul's biggest journey.
He knows all will be okay. That's actually incredibly comforting, isn't it? Especially from a god so linked with death. It almost feels like a parent reassuring a child.
It has that quality, yeah.
What specifically in the sources gives that feeling of reassurance, makes it feel like a promise. It must be more than just him being there. It's tied into the whole system, right?
Absolutely. His presence is basically a guarantee that cosmic order, what the Egyptians called Ma'at, truth, balance, order, extends even into death and the afterlife. The promise that all will be okay comes directly from their core belief. If you were properly prepared, properly guided, and your heart was judged as true in that final ceremony, you would achieve eternal life in the field of reeds. It was almost a conditional guarantee.
And Anubis is central to that judgment, isn't he? The weighing of the heart.
Absolutely central. He's often depicted right there by the scales, sometimes adjusting the plummet, making sure the weighing against the feather of Ma'akat is fair. He's confirming the purity of the deceased's life. So he's not just a passive observer or even just a judge. He is a crucial witness and maybe a facilitator of a just outcome.
Ensuring fairness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you put all these pieces together, his role in preserving the body through embalming, his active protection against the underworld's dangers, his step-by-step guidance through the duat, and his critical role at the final judgment, what you get is this powerful legacy of comfort.
Legacy of comfort, I like that.
He offers, as the sources suggest, stories of hope, trust, and safety to the departed. And not just through vague promises, but through his active, unwavering involvement in their entire transition.
It's very hands-on.
Very hands-on. And this is the profound message that comes through again and again in the ancient material. It brings us right back to that core understanding. This is what Anubis means, and what makes him more than just the face of death. He is a protector and a guide. It really underscores that initial surprise we talked about, moving from the singular, often scary image to a really deep, complex understanding of a deity who embodies both necessary power and profound compassion.
And yeah, what a journey that was for us just now, unpacking that. We started with that that really formidable image of Anubis, didn't we? The chill air of the tomb, the stern guardian, the jackal head, mostly seen as just the master of death.
The initial impression.
Right, we acknowledge that powerful gaze, the connection to death's finality. But then we look closer, like the sources told us to. We dove into those papyri, the tomb inscriptions. We saw the gentle curves of his hands during embalming. We heard those whispers of protection against the duat's dangers. We found that steadfast heart guiding souls towards judgment. So we really moved from that simplified, maybe even frightening image to understanding his deeper roles, this compassionate guardian, this reliable guide who manages to balance immense power with real comfort, ensuring cosmic order, Matt, holds even in that transition.
And that, I think, is the real aha moment here, isn't it? The realization that a figure so deeply tied to death, a concept often wrapped up in fear and sadness, could also embody so much hope, protection, and reassurance within that ancient belief system.
So profound.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about how figures like Anubis in these ancient religions weren't just symbols of death. They provided this whole framework for understanding, for accepting life's ultimate transition.
Framework for coping, almost.
Exactly. They offered a deep sense of order, purpose, and maybe most importantly, a very real, tangible comfort when facing the great unknown. They gave people a way to navigate the inevitable, not just with dread, but with a measure of hope and trust.
Absolutely. So as you, our listeners, go about your day, maybe carry these insights with you. The next time you encounter a figure, or maybe even an idea, that seems to represent just one thing or evokes just one strong emotion.
Yeah.
Remember Anubis. Think about what deeper, maybe more comforting, or just more complex truths might be lying just beneath the surface waiting for you to, well, look a little closer. This has been another deep dive.